Okay, well, there's no doubt the job market sucks nowadays, right? They're not paying what they used to, or there's not enough jobs to go around, and the jobs that are around may not be the best, right? Or like I said, they don't pay. Um, but in IT, it's a never ending and growing field. So don't be afraid to still step in to IT. Don't be afraid to or to think that it's all saturated and it's not worth it because AI blah blah blah. But let me tell you, it's rewarding. It's rewarding for me because every day I go into the office, there's always something new. It's never a dull moment, right? So if I were to give you any advice, or if I were to say anything positive, is to just keep going. Is to just continue pushing because IT is vast, right? You could branch out, you can continue growing, continue learning. You're not just sitting at a desk and picking up phone calls. That's a call center. That's not IT. So uh, if you move up, you can learn cybersecurity. From the help desk, you can become a network admin, a sysadmin. I just recently picked up my AZ 900 certificate, which is the fundamentals of the Azure cloud service provider. And you can do a lot there, right? You can do a lot by just taking on those tasks. You don't even have to get the certificates. All this information is online for you to pick up and understand and read and go from there. But let me tell you, that once if you do land a job in IT, it is just as rewarding as almost anything out there. So you're not gonna be stuck, frustrated. And if you like learning, right? If you like um, taking on challenges, if you like sitting there being frustrated for maybe 2 days and then finally figuring out what the problem is, then IT is for you. IT is, like I said, it's not just a call center. It's not just picking up the phone and answering tickets and things like that. You're gonna get your hands dirty. You're gonna run into issues where no one's really worked on before, and you're gonna have to Google and go down the troubleshooting tree, as I would say. If this doesn't work, then try that. If this doesn't work, then try this. So those are the things. There's technology emerges every day. You're always going to have something new to learn. You're always going to have something new to play with. I mean, AI is taking over, right? You think it's going to take away your job. Well, guess what? The average user, they just want to know how their spreadsheet works. They don't know how AI can help them. It's your job to take on that initiative, learn AI, and see how that can help them. I mean, Python is in now in Excel, so users every day are going to be more familiar. I mean, these kids nowadays are pretty much born with tablets in their hands. So you have to, if you want to get into this field, learning is the number one thing, right? Getting into uncomfortable positions and finding a way to come out on top. And just being uncomfortable is not a pleasant feeling, but once you come out on top to accomplish your goal or figure out what the problem is in this case, then there's no better feeling. I mean, yeah. So it's there's lots of opportunities for you to go ahead and take on any kind of any kind of problem you want. I mean, right now you can go into Azure .com and sign up for a free account. You get $200 or a whole year of free, and whichever goes out first, either the $200 or the year expires, then that's it. You're done. You just do what you got to do to get another account. But you're able to play with that. You're able to create virtual machines. You're able to create your VPN on the cloud. Um, if you want to get into networking, um, Azure can help you with that, right? They got those resources. The same with AWS. You want AWS has a free tier where I'm not sure exactly if you get a certain amount to spend, but you definitely get it for a year. And you get to play with those tools. You get to, if you're into web development, you get to create functions in the cloud and see how that works. Deploy your static websites on the cloud. I mean, there's all kinds of services, right? You can go onto Microsoft and learn Office.com and become a SharePoint admin. So there's a lot of opportunity in the tech industry. I don't. I think those moments where the cool tech bro is over, right? Where people would just jump in and try to see how much money they can get. It's a little tougher now, for sure. It's not going to be a cakewalk. You got to definitely show why you're there and that you want to be there, pretty much. Um, but there's definitely work. And the cool thing about IT is that I really like is that you learn what this some of the stuff on the job. You don't really know um, off the top of your head, right? You're not gonna know how to create a server at home unless you're into this stuff and you got the money to spend to go buy a server rack and load it up with a couple of file share servers uh, and a couple of other hardware switches and firewalls and things like that. You're gonna do all that, then and you got the money to do it. That's fun, but you can go do that in Azure right now. For yeah, you might go over the $200, but it's definitely worth it if you know what you want to do. Of course, that's the key word. You know what you want to do. If you're not too sure, I mean, Chat GBT it, right? That's what we're all doing nowadays. So uh, don't be afraid. And like I said, the users in the office, uh, you know, maybe they're fading away and getting more tech savvy, but at the same time, they're still there. Some people are just want an easier way. They don't even know about the Adobe environment, right? Or they run into trouble with drivers. Those drivers are still an issue, right? Drivers, they still come across every now and then. I mean, we saw what 2-3 weeks ago, an update cause a crash. You know what I mean? So, of course, that was a different. That wasn't drivers. That was a code, but it's pretty funny how that works. And I mean, they were calling me to show up to data centers like for companies I worked for before, and they were asking me to show up for the weekend when the CrowdStrike crash happened. To show up on a weekend to some data centers and reboot some servers and run new scripts to delete the file and things like that. So, um, yeah, again, if you want to get into IT, uh, you know, learn as much as you can, right, on your own, because that is valuable. Learning on your own is valuable to the point where it can make you in this industry. Because if you're not willing to learn on your own, and you're just gonna cling on to whoever taught or whoever is the lead in that company, well then you don't really stand out, and people are not gonna want to drag you along. So always keep learning. Always keep learning, because that's my message here, is to continue learning, keep pushing. And yeah, I don't have tutorials, but I'll motivate you. I'll motivate you to heck. So um, you know those are things in IT that uh, it's worth it. Make it worth it. Uh, you can do construction if you want. I think that's a pretty cool job too. But it's just I think the industry. I want to say what I want to say, but I don't want to get in trouble, because if this thing gets on the internet and it gets to the wrong hands, I just could get fired, and it has to do with unions. All right, so I think the American worker needs to realize and get over the hump of unions. But that's another topic. So I'm here to tell you that IT is still worth it. If you like learning, if you like taking on challenges, and let me see what else. Bureau of Labor Statistic Employment and Computer Information Technology occupation is projected to grow 13% from 2020 to 2030, which is faster than average for all occupations. And I don't know. I'll have to see that because Bureau of Labor of uh, what is it? Bureau of Labor of Subjugation. uh, Bureau of Labor of Statistics. The Bureau of Labor of Statistics. Let's see. Ah, so yeah, learning these skills is not a bad thing. It's not something that's gonna hold you back. I mean, if you're into tech, I mean, like who isn't, right? Nowadays, we grow up with this stuff. It's everywhere. We have to learn how to use it. But it's not a laid back job anymore. It's not. It's something that you're gonna have to keep on top of. Build network, you know, things like that. Build relationships with your leads, with your coworkers, and that's something not everybody can do, right? Build relationships. Let me see. Employment, national employment, state and local county, job openings and labor turnovers. Hires and total separations. So yeah, more than anything, I mean, IT can be rewarding. Um, IT is fun. It's great. I mean, you join the help desk. If you join the help desk, then the help desk is the gateway, right? You break through that door. But as soon as you get there, don't settle there. Don't just get comfortable. Continue learning. Put yourself out there. Connect with other professionals that will help you get to where you want to be. That is for sure the one advice, right? Get to know